In compliance with Chapter 551 Open Meetings of the Texas Government Code, I call to order a public hearing meeting of the Board of Trustees of the Austin Independent School District for Thursday, December 14th, 2023 at 5:38 p.m. A quorum of the board is physically present at the AISD Central Office to conduct this meeting. The meeting is streaming live on AISD TV and Apple TV. It's also being broadcast on cable channel 22 through Spectrum, Astound Broadband, and on channel 99 through AT&T UVerse. Closed captioning in English is available on these platforms. Well, I should actually say so. Closed captioning is not available. That's actually why we're a little bit late today. We are going to try to add it after the fact, but I believe if you watch on YouTube, you will be able to watch the closed captioning through YouTube's capabilities. So, welcome and thank you for joining us. Next is an opportunity for the board to share comments with the board. Do we have any public comments tonight, Dr. Reach? No? Okay. Thank you. So we don't have any. But next we have a presentation on the financial integrity rating for 2023. Mr. Segura, would you please introduce the item?
Absolutely. Good evening, President Singh and members of the board. I'd like to invite Ed Ramos, our Chief Financial Officer, to provide the update regarding the financial integrity rating.
President Singh, Interim Superintendent Segura, members of the board. Tonight we will hear our first financial rating for 2023. And so FIRST basically stands for the Financial Integrity Rating System of Texas. The Financial Integrity Rating System of Texas is a rating system that basically ensures that Texas public schools are held accountable for the quality of their financial management practices, and that we continue to look for ways to improve our practices. And so that's what you will see tonight. These ratings basically help us to better manage our financial resources. And so that's one of the areas that we continually look at as a district. And this way that it enables us to maximize instructional dollars that we can funnel back towards our students and staff. And so the 2023 rating that you will hear presented tonight is based on the 21-22 school year. So it's 2 years behind, just based on final audited numbers from TEA. The areas that this rating measures is basically composed of 20 indicators. That includes our annual financial report, debt payments that we make through our bond issues that we have issued over the history of the district. It looks at, have we made timely payments to other government agencies such as TRS, the IRS. It looks at our district's financial solvency, basically looking at our fund balance, our cash on hand, and then looks at various other ratios and financial measurements that TA measures a district's financial strength. So our first rating results for the 23 school year, we did receive a superior achievement. That is the highest rating achievable through the first rating. This did increase to a 94 as far as overall points. Last year we received a 90, and so we'll go over in detail the overall makeup of those scores. So the first four indicators that you see before you, they basically are a pass or fail. So we either pass them as a district or fail these indicators. Indicator one basically looks at our annual financial report and did we submit it on time to TEA. The reason that's important is districts usually that submit financial reports late to the Texas Education Agency are experiencing financial issues or don't have all the data that they need to supply to the auditors. And so that's one of the very key indicators with a first rating. The next indicator looks at the opinion from your annual financial audit. And so if you received an unmodified opinion, that is a clean opinion. We did receive that for the 21-22 school year. Also, did we pay all of our debt payments on time? So we sell bonds. As part of those bond sales, we have annual debt payments that we must make as a district. Did we make those payments on a timely basis? So that is an indicator. We did pass that indicator. The next one looks at, did we make all of our payments to government agencies on time? It looks at payments that we make to TRS, the Texas Workforce Commission, the IRS, and any other government agencies that we make payments to as a district. So we did pass that indicator. And then they look at our fund balance. Over a period of 3 years, did our fund balance basically decrease by more than 25%? And so TA sees any decrease over 25% in fund balance as a financial issue for any school district. And so we did pass that indicator. Starting with indicator 7, we start receiving points. The maximum points that we can receive as a district is 100 points. And again, we receive 94 points through our rating. So in looking at the individual points, the first one, basically indicator 7, looks at, did we have enough cash to cover our expenditures? And so we did receive the full 10 points from that indicator. Indicator 8 is one of the indicators that we did not receive full points. And so this one basically measures at the end of our fiscal year, which our fiscal year ends June 30th, did we have a large current liability account, current liability balance. And so basically what this indicator measures, and where it hurts Austin ISD, is it measures our recapture payment. So recapture payments in the state of Texas are due August 15th. Our financial fiscal year ends June 30th. So because we haven't paid our recapture payment, we have the funds in our bank accounts, but we don't pay that till August. Because we don't pay that, we can get hit in our first rating. In this specific year, we did pay it early. We paid it before June 30th. And so we did receive 6 points as compared to 2. One of the reasons I will say that we paid it early is at that time, that school year, interest rates were at 0.5%. So when you look at 0.5%, you look at current interest rates now at over 5%. That decision does have a lot of weight now, and I'll go over that in a few slides. Also, indicator 9, we did receive our full points there, and as well as indicator 11. Those measure revenues compared to expenditures, where our revenues more than our expenditures. So we received the maximum points there. And then 11 looks at long-term solvency. So did we have enough assets to cover all of our long-term liabilities? So we maxed out our points there as well. Number 12 looks at your property values. And so anytime a district issues debt, does the district have the property value to be able to support our debt payments, our annual debt payments? And so that's where our debt service tax rate comes in. Austin ISD, as you know, we are a property wealthy school district, so we do have the property value to support our annual debt payments. We did receive the full 10 points there. One of the areas that we continue to work on and look at is indicator 13, which measures your administrative cost ratio. So we did receive 8 points there out of the 10, and we'll go over that in a little bit more detail. And then finally, indicator 16 looks at the accuracy of our PEIMS data. So all of our data, student data that we report, our financial data is reported through PEIMS. Did the data that we reported to TA also match the data that we show in our financial statements? And so that's one of the areas that TA looks at. We did pass that indicator. Indicator 17 looks at, did, as part of the annual financial report, the district receive any material weaknesses in internal controls? We did not, so we passed that indicator. Indicator 18 specifically looks at grants. And so did we receive any material non-compliance, which basically means are we not complying with the grant requirements from the federal government, from state governments? And so we did receive the maximum points there. We are in compliance with all of our grants. Number 19, we also received 5 points, and that is the max points that you can receive for that indicator. And that one basically looks at, did we discuss property values before we adopted our budget? And so that's always part of our budgeting process. We look at property value growth and how we can, how that affects both our local operating budget and our debt service budget as well. So let's look at 2 of the indicators where we did not receive maximum points. The first one, of course, indicator 8. And so one of the areas that we know with this indicator, although we did receive 6 points in the 21-22 school year, in 22-23, we did not pay our recapture payment early. The reason for that is because of the current interest rate market. And so we knew that if we pay our recapture payment when due in August versus before the end of our fiscal year, we would actually maximize our interest rate earnings. And so with that decision, we actually earned an extra $8.2 million in cash flows. And so that was one of the reasons that we paid our recapture payment on time. That decision, however, will impact our first rating in the 22-23 school year. But again, as a district, we felt it was more fiscally responsible to maximize our interest earnings rather than receive a reduction in a first rating. So for our taxpayers, it translated to $8.2 million in additional interest earnings. And so in 23-24, our current school year, our interest rates are again at over 5%. And so our current plan is to also pay our recapture payment when due. We think we can again maximize our interest earnings and earn between $7 to $9 million in additional cash flow, which becomes very important, especially this school year when we're looking at a deficit budget. So again, we're looking at being fiscally responsible with our taxpayer dollars and doing the best that we can to reduce our overall budget deficit. Indicator 13 basically measures administrative costs. And so administrative costs not only consist of central office administrative type expenditures, they also consider what's called Function 21, which is in the instructional support category. And so we were high in the 21-22 school year. We also anticipate being above in the 22-23 school year. And looking at the numbers, we are continually exploring ways to reduce our administrative cost ratio. One of the areas that we know hurt the district in the 21-22 and the 22-23 school year was because of the large number of vacancies. So what that did is that reduced our denominator, which is instructional costs. So when we had a large number of teacher vacancies, that actually hurt our administrative cost ratio. One of the areas that we've discussed is looking at positions that that impact this ratio. When they become vacant, do we actually need to rehire for that position? We have to look at those decisions very closely. We make that decision as an executive group and as a leadership team because, again, some of these positions are in the curriculum area, 504, school services, advanced academics, dyslexia, pre-K, restorative practices. So when you look at positions in those are areas that directly support campuses. So we understand that as a district, we still need to support those areas. So again, when you look at those areas or whether it's central office, that's what we base our decisions on and the need for that specific position. And then this slide basically looks at and compares the administrative cost ratio between ourselves and other urban districts. So you'll see Arlington, Cypress Fairbanks, Dallas, Fort Bend, Fort Worth, Houston, and Northside. And so we are above some of the other districts. The highest admin cost ratio currently among the urban districts is with Dallas ISD. But again, we compare ourselves to these urban districts because that gives us a good benchmark of the work that we need to do to get below that TA threshold of 0.0855. We also have bragging points, I guess I would say, with other financial indicators that we really take pride as a district. Of course, one of them being our bond rating. That's part of our scorecard goals. We have a AAA bond rating. That is the highest rating, bond rating that a school district can receive in the state of Texas. And so not only do we have one AAA bond rating from Moody's, but we have two AAA bond ratings. The second one comes from the Kroll bond rating agency. And so currently we are actually the only district in Texas that has two AAA bond ratings. So they look at our financial strengths, our financial management practices, our property values. And so we take great pride in ensuring that we continue to have the strongest bond rating in the state. Also, we do submit our financial reporting and budget books to different associations, those being the Association of School Business Officials and the Government Finance Office Association. And so for 2022, we did receive the GFOA Certificate of Excellence in Financial Reporting and the ASBO Certificate of Excellence in Financial Reporting as well. And then now I will open it up to questions that the board may have.
Thank you, Chief. Trustees, are there any questions? Trustee Boswell.
No question, just want to share appreciation for the great work and for taking, kind of helping all of us take care of the district's money, of our taxpayers' money, so we can use that money to take care of our students. So thank you very much for that, and the people who serve to support our students appreciate it. And for just the flexibility and the strategy that's obviously behind what you're doing. And then I just want to steer people to our last week's meeting, where there are some trustee questions online, as Trustee Whitley Chu said last week, and then the video, a link to the video as well, where you went in greater depth to this. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes. So I have a question, Chief Ramos. So you had mentioned that we get penalized for paying a recapture payment early. Is that unique to AISD and other districts that have large recapture payments, or is that just kind of the
So this is unique to districts that have recapture payments, even more unique to Austin because our recapture payment is so much larger than other districts in the state. When you look at our recapture payment, you add up the next 5 districts that pay into recapture, and ours is still a larger amount. So this specific item is unique to Austin ISD. We have tried to make a movement at the legislative level to have this indicator really give us credit because of the large recapture payment that we have, and looking at other financial measures. And so we're still looking at options with indicator 13. We also have the option to appeal to TEA if we do take a hit with this indicator because we paid our recapture payment on time. And so we will exercise that option if we do get hit with a penalty because of this indicator.
Great. Thank you, and thanks for the good work. We sometimes underestimate or don't think so much about the financial aspect of running a huge organization like this, and we're just so fortunate to have you and your team ensuring that we are being good stewards of our money, and so just thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
All right. Well, if there are no more questions or comments, at this time we will adjourn our public hearing, take a short break, and then return to open the regular voting meeting at 6 o'clock. So Secretary Boswell, do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, having a motion by Secretary Boswell and a second by Trustee Zapata to adjourn. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. The motion passes unanimously, and the meeting is adjourned at 5:56 p.m. Thank you.